Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Threadlings, a filmmaking production diary. I'm Miguel and this is my loading up project screen. How's everybody doing? And Tran Ma's here as well.
Hey everyone.
We're half asleep like always, but all is good. Why is this taking so long to open all of a sudden? It's weird. So we're discussing the making of an animated film in Unreal Engine. We're doing this project called the Threadlings. And yeah, we did one already before, and this is our next one. Let's see who's here. Ruben, how's it going? Let's see what this is here. Some of my files are not appearing, so I just need to find it.
My side is like crashing just now too. I don't know what's going on. I'm having issues.
Yeah. So, Ted is in the house as well. What's up, guys? Let's see. Trying to find a file here. You know what? I don't even care. I don't need that one. So, we got a lot done this week. Some of this stuff is obviously all in progress, but I'll be able to show you guys some stuff here. So I guess the main thing is there's going to be an inconsistency here where Mayo is going to be pretty much missing in every shot. That I'll show you in this section of the edit, and then he'll like appear in other sections in basically just one shot, but Mayo's going to be pretty much on every shot with Cot. So like a shot like this, Mayo will be over here. Camera might have to be adjusted a little bit, but he's not in there yet. He's only in one shot, and I could show you, for example, like what that's going to look like. So that's been the big thing this week, is just working on this sequence in particular. Let me open up this thing here. I think this is it here. So you could see here, for example, like this is like the work in progress of like Mayo appearing there. And then you'll see Mayo in the next shot here, but those are not rendered yet. But it's still pretty cool to start seeing Mayo in some of this stuff. Let me put that a little bit bigger. So we have just a bunch of animators at this point. We have a mini army. So that's pretty cool. So let me play what we have so far. And again, this is super work in progress, but I could show you guys what we have. So give me 1 second. Can you guys hear this? That sound right there? Okay, cool. So let me just play this.
What's he doing? Zor, are you all right? Zor? Mayo.
You let Zord die. The moths are no threat.
So that's what we have so far. So a lot of work in progress stuff. It's pretty cool to see. The big thing that kind of sucks is just that Mayo's missing in so many of the shots, and then the one shot that he's in, you can see like he has this hair piece because we haven't brought in the groom from
Yeah, so
Unreal Groom.
it's like just a weird geometry.
The sword is not textured here. The clothing is not simmed, but it's still really cool to see this really kick-ass animation. This animation is being done overseas by a fantastic animator that I found on Twitter of all places. Like now I'm like following every animator to hire. So he just did this fantastic job. 'Cause the whole thing is I'm like, I need him. His teeth look really red here, Tran, by the way.
Let me see.
And that is the right teeth. The right texture is on there, but you can see they look really red.
Is that the? No. Okay.
Yeah, it's the right.
Oh, I remember. Their teeth all got replaced.
Okay, that's probably what it is. So it's probably just applying the gums material. But anyway, it's still really cool to see. I can't wait to see this guy with the cape simulated. It's gonna be so kick-ass. But he did a really cool job. Let me render this because it's going a little low res on this clip in particular. Yeah, there we go. So the big ask on Mayo's, I don't want his face to move that much. I always want this beaker mouth to be visible, which is like this big kind of frown. But here he's talking and his face is expressive, but just enough. So I think he did a great job. Also seeing Zort talking and stuff like that is pretty cool.
You let Zord die.
So Zord is fully infested with larvae, so you could see we had to go in and create a bunch of sculpt deformers to animate underneath the skin. So it looks like there's things moving under his skin. You can see it's on his face and it is on the torso. So that was pretty cool because I was able to apply it onto the Alembic file rather than applying it into the base rig, although we are getting all of that not baked into, but put into the rig so that one of the issues that I had is you can see here as his head starts rotating, those shapes kind of stay behind. So I tried to hide it by having it move so you can't really tell. But it's not going to follow along with the head, but it'll be able to do that now because those things will be part of the rig. So you'll be able to have that weird deformation. So I have to fix some stuff under the neck. So this shot is still in progress. Celine is animating it, so the lip sync here is not right, but I saw her latest version. It looks freaking awesome. So she's doing amazing.
The moths are no threat.
And of course the hat doesn't have animation on this version. I could show you the latest version that Celine sent me. Celine is a Gnomon student that is helping us with all of the animation. So let's take a look at this. You'll see notes on here. You see the lip sync is perfect there. The hat is moving correctly. So it needs to hold its pose right here. So you can see this program is awesome. It's called Sync Sketch. So I could just put my notes on here and you could just kind of see what we're trying to do. So holds the pose. Mayo's going to freak out and just throw his sword. Boom, and he's going to grab it effortlessly. He looks so demented here. Take a look at that, Tran.
What is wrong with his face? Do you think he should be? Well, he looks so different with his textures.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to I need to send this growl sound, which is basically this over here. I don't know where I have it. I think it's over here. Yeah, so then he chases after them. So we don't have that in there yet.
No threat.
Also, you can see here that I added vomit coming out of his mouth. You don't see where it's coming out of, so this will be, we asked Dakota, who did a lot of the sim stuff on Voice in the Hollow for us, to have the vomit coming out, like drooling out here while he's laying down. And also in this section here, have him vomiting as well. So may have to show his mouth more open here. The other thing that's pretty cool is you could see here the texture is animated entirely in Engine, which is pretty kick-ass. So that's all shader based in Unreal, so there's still no comp in any of this stuff. Okay, so there's still a shot missing here. So Mayo will appear over here, and then there's going to be a shot which will basically be, let me open up Epic Pen. Where is my Epic Pen? There it is. So the stairs will be like over here. Right? Zort is like walking over here. Cotton Mayo are over here. And this is the ceiling here. Should maybe try to make this look a little bit more like stairs. Okay, there we go. So the shot that's missing now is Cot slowly going down the stairs, kind of, you know, ninja style. And then Mayo is going to go up into the ceiling here, upside down, because he walks on walls and ceiling, and he will run across the ceiling and then start coming down through this wall over here. That's why in that one shot you see that he looks like he's coming off the wall. So he's going to go up there, run across. So they're both coming at him from different directions. So we need that shot. That's missing. That's why here you can see that they're up on the stairs, and all of a sudden he's down at the bottom of the stairs. So that's the shot that's missing. And then here you'll start seeing Mayo like this with his cape down like that. He'll slowly be coming down. So we got it right here. You can see when Cot pokes his head, Mayo will now be over here. Again, the cape, right, boom. Out of focus, which is one of the things I really wanted, is this really cool thing happening in the background out of focus. It's not a big deal. That's just what Mayo does. And there you can see connects to this. Mayo knows something is weird about this. Cod just thinks he died, and Cod's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" That's why he's shaking his head like, "You crazy?" I'm probably gonna have him say something like, "No," or "What are you doing?" Right? Which I don't have the dialogue for that, but we're gonna re-record our actor and have him say that. His face is turned, which is my favorite kind of dialogue because then I don't have to lip sync it. So he'll say that. Mayo's not buying it. The sword is not textured here. So Mayo come in over here on the left. Slowly. Mayo will be on the right hand side. Here, Kot's like looking down too much, so I need him to look back up at the end of this. So I grabbed some of the mocap that Celine had cleaned up, and then I lowered his head, but I'm gonna have her bring the eyes back up because yes, he should feel bad that he said he was a loser or whatever, but he should also be freaked out. So I'm gonna try to fix that. Mayo will be over here. So I gotta fix this issue here. So you can see there's geometry interpenetrating. What I'll probably do, easiest thing rather than even kick it back to the rig is, well, I might just kick it back to the rig, but just create a blend shape that pulls this whole thing down and then just control it.
The moths are no threat.
And then the chase gives in, or doesn't give in, it commences, and then you have this right here. So got to get that going. So a lot of stuff done. So I'm pretty happy with how it's all turning out. We are probably going to tweak the lighting to look a little bit more like it is later in the day, but that's not a big deal since it's all Unreal. But yeah, pretty happy with how it's all coming out. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we have this, which is not at all ready to really show. It's so this, I just threw this in whatever environment I happen to have had and then stripped a bunch of stuff. So it's I actually should just get rid of like all of this stuff because I don't want this judged as if this was what I wanted. So I'm just going to strip these things down. Okay, so this is the moth attack. No shaders on anything. Let me adjust the lighting here as well. Okay, so let's play this. So Zord, this is the scene before all of this. So he's running, boom, the moth lands on him. There's no textures or shaders on any of the characters at this moment. So he stabs him. Puts the little sucker in his mouth. Then Cotton Mayo are going to run out to try to fight. And when that happens, the moth is going to leap at them and try to intimidate them and blow them back with the wings. And then it's going to scurry back, grab Zort. Well, first Zort's going to like call out for help. And boom, the stinger's going to go up his butt and out his mouth, stab him, pump him full of the larva, and then take off with Zort. Let me pull this out like this. Every single time I play this, it doesn't matter when, what time, Tran laughs when Zord is taken away. It's so funny.
It's kind of stuttering. Like, does that trick when you click on the browser work? Yeah, now it's playing smoother.
It's so silly that it does that.
Yeah, so if Miguel clicks on the Unreal Engine window, it plays like really bad. But if he clicks on like another app, it like streams smooth.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
So again, this is not the environment. It's gonna be outdoors, but this is just like a test bed. It's gonna look way cooler.
I don't know. I think it's funny when he just takes off with Zord. It's so brutal. Because you have to remember, like, well, for those who maybe just tuning in or you forgot or whatever, it doesn't start out like this. It's supposed to start off like you meet Cot, you meet Mayo, you know, they're just kids, and you think it's not like a big deal. You think it's going to be about Cot learning to be a mage or something, and then, yeah. But, you know, so this is supposed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Fanny Pack, thank you. Ruben, Bobby, Netbug, thanks. So yeah, so that's that. So this thing I need to get more cameras on. So let's just try to figure out what the hell we're gonna do in terms of the camera. So this guy should be at 0, 0. Okay, great. So the first shot, let me make sure this is all. Is this the one I'm looking at? Okay, so the first shot, I wanted it to feel like it's like a running shot. So this is like Cotton Mayo's POV. So, okay, so how would I do that? The best way to do that is always, I'll use this program called VirtueCam.
And it's on your phone, right?
It's on my phone. And I'm going to open it up right now and show you. Give me 1 second. My phone just got bombarded with political ads. Okay, so let's open that up in Maya. So let's open this up. I'm going to minimize this. Premiere really is a resource hog, so I'll save this and close this up.
Whenever you're streaming, it always feels like a very long time.
Yeah, it feels like forever. You know what? I'm going to do the music thing that we did last time.
It gives a vibe.
What did we end up putting?
I don't know.
Wasn't it Rain?
I don't remember. James says it was atmosphere or ambient.
All right, so we'll do ambient. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So, okay, so I'm just going to open up the shot. Da, 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 da. This shot is not a fast-moving shot at all. What the hell is this? Oh, I know what it is. I'm opening the wrong one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so first thing, I'll just create. So what is that? That's dev camera. So I'm going to delete these cameras here. Panel perspective. Okay, so I have my camera here. I have a preset here called Threadlings. That preset gives me the correct what am I looking for? Film back size, which is going to give me the depth of field that I want. So let's kind of get them kind of in position here. So I know that the main thing that I need is when he gets lifted up here, I want that clean silhouette. Something like that. Okay, and I also kind of want to establish my 180 line. So what I'll probably do is my 180 line is going to be from here to here, meaning my camera can go from the front here, from the back here, and everywhere in between in this half circle. So there's like a weird perspective, of course, but you could see the camera can be from any one of these angles, but it cannot, cannot is a big word, but I should not try to do it from this side of the circle. So this is a no. Okay, that way you maintain kind of your scene direction, and if you jump around, you'll lose your orientation, which may not be bad during an attack if you were Zorto. My concern is if I cut in too close into this, you're playing the scene out from Zort's POV, and I want to always maintain Kot's perspective. Like even that one shot that I showed you of Zort on the floor where you see his face talking, I was concerned that was a shot that was not being seen from Kot's perspective. I want to always maintain the POV of the hero. We are the hero. We are going through this with him. And if you start looking at it from outside, to me, it feels like it detaches you a little bit. So I don't want, I may do it because it might make the scene cooler, but I'm going to try to avoid it if possible, is to cut around and make it feel like we're Zort. One thing I definitely don't want, like I said, is I cannot go on this half of the circle. Okay, so let's look at our focal lengths. So this already sets my film back size to the correct film back, which is like an IMAX format. The difference though is is that it is like IMAX. However, it is maintaining a 16:9 aspect ratio, whereas the IMAX format is a straight square. So in Unreal, for example, if you go over here and select this camera, you can see that under film back you have all these presets. This preset here at the very bottom is called Threadlings. That is very close to the size of the IMAX 70mm. And the reason why we're shooting with IMAX 70mm is not because we're trying to get more resolution, but the bigger your film back size is, the more shallow a depth of field you're going to get. And because we had to sim these guys, the fabric, as if they were life size, like full size humans, but we wanted them to look miniature, we needed to get as shallow a depth of field as possible. So by shooting it with a much bigger film back size, we're going to get that shallow depth of field that'll make them feel like little toys. So problem is, you can see the IMAX one gives you this aspect ratio, which sucks. So I had to go in and make the Threadling one, which changes it. It's not based on a real one. one thing is there's no way to save your presets here. So if you create your film backside and you want to save it, you can't save it here. That really sucks. So if you want to change it, you have to go into, this is the most archaic, crazy crap ever. Let me find this. So see program files. Epic Games. Here it is. Engine. Config. And I believe it's this one here, baseengine.ini. I think this is it. And at the very bottom, I had to create this script here. So this is now telling you that this is going to create a new setting in your cinematic camera settings. Film back preset is going to be called Threadlings. This is the sensor width and height, and then the name of it. I actually got this code, or this line of code, from ChatGPT. So I found a bunch of settings for it online. None of them worked. I fed it to ChatGPT and I asked it to help me, and it gave me the correct value, which is this here, or the correct script. Copied it in there, and that was the only thing that worked. So using those, use that stuff for this kind of stuff. It's really incredible. I'll show you another example here. I created this custom tool. One of the things that takes me forever is whenever I load up the motion capture, I sometimes need to offset the faces, so offset the animation on the faces. So this is an entire tool created entirely in ChatGPT, which I could jump between all the characters in the film, and then use the slider to just slide and offset the animation of the faces. This was one of the processes that used to take me the longest amount of time to do whenever I was trying to set up the facial motion capture to line up with the body. And now it's extremely simplified with this. All of this was done with ChatGPT. ChatGPT created this entire interface. And I just did it little by little by little until I got it to do exactly what I wanted. So I would ask it to do one thing, and then I'd be like, can you now add an interface for it? Can you now do this? Oh, well, what if the rig changes? Can you make it look for everything, but not be stuck to a particular version? And it did it little by little. If you build it that way, instead of trying to get it all at once, you could get this thing to do a lot of really cool stuff. So I have that tool. I have this other tool for our shader assignments when we publish stuff to send it to Unreal, and all of this stuff. I'm not a scripter at all, but it's all being done through ChatGPT. So anyway,
the shader assignment stuff is like
it's a nightmare.
It's brutal, especially because we have we just want to be able to control our look, and we can't just stick everything into one shader.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's take a look at this. So I like how he looks here when he's stabbed. I'm just going to kind of get the angle here. So that's definitely good. Let's see over here, because there's a scene where he reaches out for help. So that works with this angle too. So I definitely feel like I need to keep this angle here. Boom. You could see here what's going on. Poor little Zort.
Look at his face.
Look how he bugged out his eyes. You see that? Fuck, man. Justin is so good. Justin is the animator that is doing this, and he is just amazing. He's I think he's like one of the supervisors at Luma Pictures. So he and Luma are helping us do this. So huge thank you to Luma for helping us with the animation on this sequence in particular.
Yeah, top level stuff.
Yeah. And this obviously is all hand animated, whereas a lot of the other stuff is motion capture. So it's jumping between the two of them. It's pretty cool. So okay, so let's see. Boom, boom, boom. stabs him right there. Okay, so
The music is all peaceful.
YouTube can die in Zen. Yeah, it's total.
This music is
Does
playing
not
is
match
not.
at all.
No, it's like all happy, peaceful thingy.
Yeah. The moth. Oh yeah, it's total Cronenberg. I went down a Cronenberg rabbit hole before I worked on the Threadlings. So that's actually like I literally have on my other monitor. Funny enough, the Barnes and Noble's 50% off sale that just is going on right now. And look at the top was the Brood in 4K. Ooh. I already have the 2K one, but oh, this is not 4K. I already have this. But I'm gonna buy more of his movies that I don't have. Okay, so Virtue Cam, let's get to it. So Virtue Camera, open this up right here. Start serving, and you can see it gives me a QR code. So I'm gonna open this program up on my iPhone called Virtual Camera. And with my iPhone, I was just thinking, like, I wonder if any of you guys could like just take a photo of that now and like connect to my but okay, so now, oh, I'm so stupid. So okay, so now I'm in my thing. I'm just finding my camera in my interface. Done. I'll move this over to the side, and I'm going to press this icon that basically has like a little link on it on my phone. I couldn't even show it even if I was sharing my camera. So, but now I'm just using my phone as an actual camera. So this movement that you're seeing here is coming directly from Maya. So let's see what we have. Okay, so it didn't record the whole thing because I started from this point here, but you can see that now that is getting more of a handheld camera feel. And I'm doing this sitting down. You definitely wouldn't want to do it sitting down. So let's go in here. And let's delete these keys. I don't like them. Thing is I want to make sure that one, that is there. The tough thing is this. So this guy roars at us over here. And that's almost like so. So I think the only way we're going to really get this right is we have to break this up into sections. So let's just do, this to me is one shot right here. Running in, boom, and he gets pulled back. That should be one shot. So let's get that going. Okay? So let's just okay, so that, in my opinion, you'd want something like this. Problem is, just saying about the 180 rule, so maybe I need to do this. That's going to be it right there. Okay, So let's get this here. So we'll start at the beginning. I'm gonna get up for a second. So Tran, can you just talk? Because I'm not gonna have.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna, well, I don't want to cut away, but I do have some stuff to show a little bit later. Some of the Zort stuff done. That's kind of cool. That is pretty cool. I think we've been using the virtual cam for like quite a while. It's just got like a real nice handheld look because it is handheld. This is all COTS POV, right?
All right. So I had to step up for a second. So again, it's not gonna look great all the way through, but this part here, let's play it and see. Da, 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 da. So COD is coming in. Oh my God. Boom. That's your money shot right there. So that's gonna be my first shot. So what I like to do at this point is I'll go into my animation layers and I'll create an animation layer. And I just refine my position a little bit better. So now I get a little bit more art direction. So right here, I'll add a keyframe. So this is now a layer of animation. Right over here, bring this. So the other thing I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do lay out two panes side by side. I want to make sure that I never lose my sense of scale here. So what I'll probably do here, which is complete overkill, but just what the hell. Where is that happening? Okay, so that's Mayo right over there.
He's like right above the camera.
Yeah, but you can see kind of my point is I want to make sure that I'm placing this
At the actual eye line.
at their actual eye line. The other thing is I'll start this further back like this. So now it's going to feel more like they're running into position. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Come over here. Let's maintain our height. Next. So you can see it definitely is better when you're seeing this one here from down on the ground level. So let's take a look at that and see, because it might get a little bit weird, but I'm not opposed to making it seem like COT falls.
Yeah, because when this guy comes in, it's ground shaking. That's awesome. Look at the music change.
The music changed. Now it's all
Okay.
dramatic.
Now it's all epic. I thought you did it. I'm like, wait.
No, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go that hammy with it.
What Miguel is doing looks so much fun. Stuff I'm doing right now is very tedious and boring.
So what I'll probably do, let's add a keyframe here. Come over here. Let's adjust the camera up. Pressing S. Next keyframe. Boom. So here we want this to go down here.
That's a great angle.
So let's hide this little dude for now. One of the things I'll probably do is I'll just grab some of these guys. Probably just for some reason they're funky. I'll just snap it here.
What do they represent?
Cactus.
I see, so dirty their frame.
But more than anything is to give me a sense of parallax. Okay, so let's play that. See, pretty fucking kick-ass. Okay, so let's hide Mayo here because he represents us. So now we're running in. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, the moths are coming. Boom. So let's go over here to that and let's find the moment of impact. And what I probably do when I find that moment of impact is I'll go a couple frames forward and add a keyframe and then go in between and just fuck it up like so. So now I have a recovery. Let's see, it might totally not work. So okay, so that's cool. So let's open this up. Da-da-da-da. So I'm gonna have my Mayo still in shot here. I feel like maybe let's push him back a little bit, like he'd be like, fuck this, I'm gonna hide. Let's bring this up.
So that mayo is standing for cod, right?
No,
Does it-
mayo is just for me.
Oh, it's just for you?
It's just for me to know where the hell their scale is.
Ah, okay. It's kind of cool how it moves past them.
I mean, mayo could be either. I'm all for mayo running first, being in front.
Well, it's not just about that. Like, if, I mean, it does kind of work as a POV in a way, but
But this is a POV.
yeah, I know, but it makes it like more dynamic. Like, I know that's Cod's POV, but like if he runs past Mayo, it feels more like you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's take a look at this here. It's a pretty cool shot, right?
Yeah, it's very cool.
The moths are coming, and you get that pull back from like from the mist. So I totally ripped that off from the mist.
Look at his face. Poor Zord. But anyway, you guys see very much why he the sequence that Miguel shows like takes place after this.
Yeah.
For those who are just tuning in and haven't been following or maybe not connecting it. This animation is so good.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's create a new camera. So this will be let's start naming this stuff because I never name it. So let's call this Cam A. Okay, fantastic. So now we can go over here, panel perspective new. Let's go into our presets, Threadlings, replace. What did we set this to? So that was 35. Okay, so it's funny, I almost never shoot 35, but it works. So okay, so let's go to perspective 3. Let's find another angle here. So I'll probably go to like a 50. So this is him getting pulled back. So the angle has to be different enough or else it'll feel like a jump cut. So I gotta find what that is. Am I gonna do that or am I gonna do this and treat it like you're coming to my side and then we could see Cotton Mayo freaking out over here.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, it is cool from the front, but
Well, it would be from the front. So he's gonna get pulled from the front, but then
yeah, you're gonna cut around.
right here, you're gonna see that.
But to be able to see like Cotton Mayo's reaction is interesting. You know, Cotton Mayo and the story are just kids. They've never seen a real moth before.
So I gotta find that perfect angle to get his it's all about the emotion of the moment, right? So what is the character experiencing? So I want to make sure that we see Zort's suffering. So that's an interesting angle. Let's take a look at this over here. I just got to be careful because I don't want the wings to be a problem for me. But this is pretty interesting right here. You would definitely see cod and mayo.
Did you hide Mayo?
It doesn't matter. Yes, he's hidden, but it doesn't matter because I'd basically position him wherever I need him to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat it.
But that and this would be a quick one here. So what I'll probably do here is put a keyframe around here, 1080. And the moth takes up.
And Zort's face is he's so expressive.
Okay, so that's pretty good right there. What I might do now, panels perspective new. So let's call this cam B. This is just over here. I just have my outliner. Panels perspective. Let's create a new camera.
What?
Is that your breathing? You sound like Darth Vader for a second.
Am I breathing like that? No, that's the
No,
sound.
that's okay. okay. Thank
That's
God.
the ambient sound.
That's the.
I'm like, what?
I started getting worried. That's why. Like,
Yeah, you looked over at me like really concerned.
yeah.
I'm like, why are you giving me that look?
You dying over there? Let me see this straight. Yeah, virtual camera. The sim for the outdoor shot is gonna be spicy. Yeah. God, thank God that wasn't you. I was like, jeez, what the hell is going on?
You know, but that ambient sound does sound like somebody breathing. Like they made the music like with whispers.
So this one will do something like that because it's about to take off. This is actually pretty awesome angle here.
That is a really great angle. It feels massive. And you can even catch them in the wingspan.
The only thing I got to be careful of is if I go wider here, Zort might end up looking bigger than the moth. because as I get that distortion of the lens, it'll start making whatever is closest look bigger. Whereas if I go the other direction, the moth will look bigger. The only problem there becomes I will need to hide the floor. And if I hide the floor, then I'll be able to see it. So 160 is just
Ridiculous.
Kind of stupid, yeah.
What is the average longer lens? They don't go to 200, right?
They go to 200.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Common though? Like I feel like it's like 100 or
Up to
something.
200 is
Yeah,
200
up to 200, but
is like the common lens.
but like is 200 the common one for a long lens?
It's not an uncommon. Like if you wanted to buy a zoom lens, you would probably buy a 35. There's like a 17 to 35, and then there's like a 52, 120, and then there's the 80 to like 200. Those tend to be like the three zoom sizes around that.
I think that even though if you're using a wide lens here, it doesn't make him look small. It feels very like it actually feels pretty good. I mean, maybe this one's a little bit wide because he looks smaller now. Like but there is something kind of cool about it being wide.
The Coen brothers use only wide lenses.
Really?
Yeah,
Even in like their like conversations.
everything. Roger Deakins' thing is he believes that if you shoot with a wider lens, you are closer to
What the
the
eye
subject.
sees.
No, not closer to what the eye sees, but that you are closer literally to the subject. So there's more intimacy. The eye sees is like a 50. So what I'll probably do here, instead of creating these keys, since we're already kind of doing this mocap X thing, and this is kind of, not mocap X, what am I saying? Virtue Cam. Let's get the Virtue Cam running here. So scan QR code again. There we are. So camera 4. There we are. I'm just gonna link them together. So I kind of want this to feel like you're just getting mauled down there. So I'm gonna set this.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know how the hell my camera is now facing the wrong direction, but okay, let's see what the hell just happened here. So let's just do the same thing for now. So we're getting the cool, like, secondary movement. So let's come over here. I added my animation layer. And I'm just trying to maintain Zort on one side. So let's do that. Uh, let's see where our floor is at. So let's take a look at that.
This angle looks nice.
So right there, let's go to view, select camera. And this is going to be all about the fact that, oh shit, the moth just got some air. So what I'll probably do here, so let's call this Cam C, and I'll name this accordingly. This is Cam A. These are my animation layers. Let's save this. So let's take a look at Cam A. That takes us up to that. So what I'll probably do here is I'm just going to play blast this. So first thing I'll do, I've noticed that for some reason, whenever I set this to render at play blast and I have this to 2K, it does not like it. So I'll just do HD 720. Okay. And let's play blast this. So we'll put this into our folder. So go to shots, Berry Field, renders. Let's create a folder here. And we'll call this Cam A. So that's probably going to be good enough. Let's take a look. And it is not playing at all. So let's see. This is a really weird bug I've been getting with play blasting lately. So annoying. I may have to set this to animation. Let's just play blast this.
That ambient sound that you have has like a weird static in it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's cancel that. Encode it. What the hell is going on?
So it's just not play blasting. My Maya is weird too. Like sometimes my meshes just like change colors for no reason. They turn like white or black.
Okay, that should be enough. This, I've been getting this just nonstop, so it's not surprising at all. File. So that's not going to work. And this is not going to work either. Yeah. So I really can't bring this into the edit. It sucks so much from under settings.
It does suck.
Let's see. Yeah, you can see what a disaster that is. All right, so let's see. Cam A. I'll try once more. If not, we're not gonna get this. Let me do one more thing here. We'll see if this works.
It's like there's nothing.
Yeah. I've been getting this.
How do you know,
Well,
what,
if I knew, I'd be doing it.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, do you just like keep doing it until it works?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's try this.
You could try rendering just like still images. Like image files instead. That might work.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I'm gonna try one more thing here. I think you should do something show something in the meantime, because
Yeah.
this is just brutal.
Let me share my screen. There I am. Okay, so this is a pass that I did on Zort, and that's like his dead version. So if I hide this, you can see what he's like before. So in the last stream, I don't remember, I'm like losing sense of time, but I'm pretty sure it was the last stream I started trying to paint the veins on the stream. And I was setting up like a smart material, but I didn't get it to look very good. But I did finish it using what I was showing last time. Let's turn his eyes on. Okay. So this might load a little bit slow since we're streaming. But this is like how Zort normally looks, right? Not his eyes here. This is like his, demonic version. What I did here is create like a smart material type of thing. And if you can see here in the red veins folder, as I open this up, it's multiple passes. So I have a height. Let's zoom in here. A vein spread. So just multiple layers. And the initial first layer is like this. And even the initial first one is pretty complex. So if I hide all this stuff here, and you can just see this one paint layer, it's really not that impressive. It's painted with a round brush. Okay. And if we were to look at that in the material view, it just, it looks pretty bad. Now, I don't want to like do complex painting all in just by hand. So, because it would just take a really long time. I'll just hide this. Oops. And I'll just create a paintable layer again. And what I've done is let's say I paint this like this. I usually just do a test. And I'm not, this one usually get thrown away. And I want to break it up so that it doesn't look crappy and straight. So I'll throw in like a warp, which breaks that up. I'll blur it because veins are actually quite soft because they're under the skin. And then I'll throw like a texture on top. This one's like a procedural concrete. And then I'll warp it again. So for my basic paint, it looks more interesting already. Right? There's like more weight in the line. Okay, so that's one layer. Then what I'll do is I created this anchor, which allows me to read this layer in whatever else I want to use. So in the second layer, what I did here is my first fill is actually reading this anchor, right? So it's loading this image, and I made it lighter. So it's 48 opacity. Then I blurred it, and I threw like these veins on top. So this is like a tileable vein map that I was making last time. And I made it brighter because it got very light. And it also needs to be blurred. And now we come back here. The second layer will give it some breakup, so it starts to feel more like veins, and you know, it just has more subtlety. The next one, so I just call it vein spread. It's the same system. It also reads that same anchor from the first one I painted. Right? And if I break it down, so again, it just looks like that. I blur it, add some texture, give it some levels, blur it again so it looks softer. And then this paint node up here, it just allows me to like erase certain parts that I might not like or whatever. Okay, so now that's looks more interesting. And this last one here is a little bit bigger. Well, actually not the last one, the next one. But basically the same thing, right? And then this one here is even larger. Okay, so now this might be a little bit slow. Once I have this all set up, I have this other one here, which gives it height. And what this one does is it reads my original one, except it has a blur. Because if I just produce height based off of this, it looks a little bit like crispy. So we want it to feel a little bit softer. And if I can now go back to my very first paint, and as I'm trying to paint this, it's playing really slow. Let's shut the height off. Maybe it will respond faster. Sometimes it does this. It just takes a moment. When it's like this, it is pretty difficult. You kind of lose like the cool part of it. And then I can just do like a few smaller ones. But it gets slow because it's, you know, creating this effect over multiple layers. And now I have something more interesting. When it's slow like this, I might just kind of turn off one to see if that works. Oh, I have mirroring on, so that's probably what's doing that. No, it's still doing that. Okay. But I think it's also because I'm streaming. But now I have like a cool kind of like layered system. On the last stream, we had a lot of questions, or there was a question about like, you know, can't a brush do this? And a brush can't really do that. It will just get really repetitive. Where this one here, it feels like it's changing, and it doesn't feel repetitive because there's so many different layers going on, and each layer is kind of doing its own vein pattern. So let me just turn this back on. Okay, so this is what I painted for the red vein, and then I did the blue vein. Just load that. I also color corrected his face, so he's a little bit more green. And then these are just more simple systems. So here I just painted, this is the original paint, right? So the paint job doesn't have to be good. And then I layered a vein texture, blurred it out. And if I were to, let's just do another paint. And let's make sure the brush is pretty soft, because that's going to help. And I'm going to lower the stroke and opacity and just slowly build this up. And so just with a simple paint, I can create like a very interesting system. You know, that would take, if I tried to hand paint that from scratch, it would take a very long time. You know, and let's go over here. I really like substance. And then I did another layer. So these ones are the same. So here was like a bluish one. You know, ultimately I got something like that. Which is, you know, for this world pretty freaky. And then, okay, now I had this. So I had a version that was like this. This layer here, these are called dead mask. And you can't see them in the main material. What I did here is I created additional channels, user 0, 1, user 1, and user 2. When I create these channels, they don't get plugged into the material. They just become channels that I can export. And if you look at user 0, it looks like this. User 1, which spreads out further, and then 2, which is completely white. So these are used for the transformation, as far as like how it spreads, because what we don't want is like the texture to just fade in, because it looks like it just fades in the entire face. So they're like fall offs, right? So this would be the initial transformation. You would see the dead texture skin come in these areas, and then it would spread out like this. And you can see that this has, you know, they both have breakup, just so that it doesn't look too linear. And then I'll close this here because this would be kind of hard on my machine. And it takes a bit to close. And it takes up the whole screen. Hold on. And while that's closing, I'll show you what it does in Unreal. I just didn't want to load both these out at the same time. It would just break my computer. So let's just wait. Oh no, it's taking a bit. So I did that, which was fun. This other thing I'm working right now is like not fun. And I'm like kind of questioning my life choices when I'm working this, which is a flower. So I'm trying to make cactus flower for the scene. And the thing that makes it really difficult is that you remember that these characters are small, right? So they're like 6 inches tall. Like caught at 6 inches, or is around, yeah, I don't know, 7 inches or whatever. So there's little guys, which means like a flower is really big. So if you make a plant, it has to have so much detail. So there's not like pre-made plants, or I mean, there's pre-made plants, but there's not a good pre-made flower that can hold up. I know Megascans has flowers, but they're like really gamey, and they just won't look. It just won't look good. Okay. So now I'm sitting here making a flower that is like extremely detailed, and I'm like, oh man, this sucks, because it's actually really difficult. To make a gigantic flower petal and make it real. Okay, let's give this a moment. And let's type this command. Okay, cool. Let's hide that light. And then I have a sequence somewhere, which I'm not sure where I put it. Give me 1 second. Well, I can just make a new one. But I think I know where it is. Okay, I'll make a new one. So just make a new sequence. I'm not sure what happened to it. Like this. And I'll show you how it works, and then I think I'll break it down afterward. In the sequence, I'll just load the material attribute, which would be in my master here, or sorry, material parameter. And I'm just going to drop in this one called Zort Dead Mask. If you look at it real quick, it has these value dead mask A, B, and C. And those were the masks that I showed you. Let's make this 24. And then I'll attach these ones here. So let's add A, B, and C. And again, A would be the smallest one. Now here, if he has the correct material assigned, which he should, so you can see this is what Zort looks like when he's like normal. I think there's a giant light on him. This is a little bright. He's a little bit blown out. And if you see me slide this, right, so there's that mask that I painted, and I can animate this. Okay, so that's A. So set that to 0. And then this is B, right? And then, you know, of course, this one's pure white. So what we didn't want was like this type of transformation. Where it just fades like that, because it doesn't really look cool. It looks kind of cheap. So I'll start with A. So let's say A starts at 0. And then we have it like transform. I don't know, we'll set to 1. I mean, it can go past 1, so you can really push it pretty hard. And then maybe here, like at the halfway point, Miguel's the one who actually really animates this. We'll have this come in here. And so now if this plays, you know, there's like some kind of like fall off, which when he's dying initially, one thing I noticed that Miguel did was that he had this kind of, the eye pulsing like this, right? And then the rest of the face comes in. And then this one, you just want this to also start coming in so that you get the whole face. And it's not animated very well, but you know, it works, I think, pretty well. And you know, this is just like the final version. So same thing with his eyes. The eyes also have the mask. And the way this is set up is if we go to the master material, which is this one. Well, the first thing I did was I made material parameter, which is this one. And it usually comes blank. So, hold on. Material parameter collection, right? So I can name this like test or whatever. And there's nothing in here, right? So these just give it values. If you look over this one, you can see it starts at 0, which means it's off. And that's like the actual value that I'm sliding around. Here, when it starts at 0 and sliding 0 to 1, are these parameters that I'm making. And then I can just label them, right? Like the ones I did here, dead mask A, B, and C. So I just manually type that in. And what happens here, it looks kind of complex, but it's slightly complex. This is the dead mask. So we would preview this, or the dead texture. Right, so that's the texture. I'm using UDIMs, so that's like his eye right here. And then I have the regular albedo here, which is the one where he's not dead. So basically I have 2 texture slots And then I have a lerp, right? So this one will allow it to blend between the two. And this is controlled by the alpha. And these are the mask that bring it in. Now, this dead mask A here is a material parameter. And you can see that I can choose what for it to read. This one reads A, B, and C. Okay. And they don't do anything while they're in the shader. They become active when I throw it in the sequencer. But this is just how we set it up. And then what I do here, right? So this starts at 0. When this hits value 1, this mask, which is not loaded in right now, but it's the one that you saw me in Substance Painter, it will turn on. But at 0, as a starting point, they don't turn on. And then I need to add these together, right? So A and B added together, and then C. Now I have to clamp it because it becomes extremely bright. You see the value of 1, which makes it look crazy. So we just clamp that so it stays between 0 and 1. And that's it, right? And then these are just like, yeah, it's kind of complex. These are like other things like color correction for now and things like that. So it feels like cloth. I also applied this same structure to the normal map because there's veins, there's height on the veins. And I think that's important to capture. The roughness I just left the same. I don't think that's that big of a deal. But then once I have this, I'll just get rid of these keyframes. So I think this, I did a bad job keying it. But now that I have that, it's something that we use specifically for the shot, right? And it can be now animated to do cool stuff. And that's, how this was set up. Then Miguel tried it out and it worked, so it was good. And the eye is the same, it's just a little bit less complex. So if I come in here, let's add the eye mask. And these go into different shaders. Let's get closer. I'm kind of doing it far away for some reason. So initially, like his eyes will do this, right? So that it looks like it has breakup, and then this one will just flood it into that main one. And we can get like a better look. This stuff is, I don't know, this stuff is fun for me. So that's his transformation. He's sharing the same shader as Caught, so just gotta be careful. Maybe he has to be separated. We'll see. Because if Caught has a dead texture, he doesn't die. But if he has a dead texture created for him, he could also have a system. So this is something like available to all characters. How it gets triggered, if we look at the material assigned onto him over here, is basically over here, right? So there's a regular albedo and then there's a dead version. And then as long as I load these masks in, they become activated. So Caught has the same base material, and it doesn't activate on him because it's all, the masks are black. So I can, do whatever. But if I'm not careful, let's find this one. And I go into Caught shader. And I throw this in, so like he gets like that. So it's just all driven by this. As long as I paint like a black mask, I can have that activated. Oh, it's almost time. How'd your play boss scenario go?
It finally is working.
Oh, it's probably because you're like, I don't know. I bet you it's because you're streaming. Maybe.
Well, it might be actually because the minute I closed Premiere, it started working.
Look who's in the chat.
Hey. Our moth designer.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what we have here. So, okay, so we have that. Let's go to our B camera here. You guys should check out his work.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So he lands. And let's see what happens if we do this. So we should cut on the movement, which is right there. Feels like these two cameras are not synced. All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so right up to that right there. Let's go to our C cam. So right there, he's gonna jump up. So Cod is running, he's running, he's running. So right there when he lands on him, probably want to show his face. So let's do that. Let's do a new camera. So remember, we have to stay on this side of the 180. It's going to be too messy. That might work. The other thing I could do
Poor Zord.
There's definitely a connection between the Play Blast and the
In their stream.
and Premiere.
Oh, I see. Premiere is like really inefficient. It's like it feels like it's super intense to run.
God, that is so kick-ass. That
That-
boom. Justin's so damn good.
He's really good.
So okay, so let's I'm gonna try to set this to like 25. Wait, that's the wrong camera. So let's set this to 25. Resolution gate. I don't like the little rotation that it has there, so let's get rid of that. That's pretty cool. Sadan, how does it feel to see your child get animated and come to life? Not sure he's still on,
Yeah.
but I always assume when people comment on the stream, they're on there for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, and then they leave.
They're like, hey, this is boring. All right, let's take a look at that. Poor little guy. Oh man, he's getting owned here.
I like those angles being I don't know, I guess they're like Dutch. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Normally I don't like those type of cameras. We're at 2 o'clock.
All right, let me just play blast this.
So basically, you just have to hide.
No, I don't have to hide. I have to save this, close this. Let's name this camera. Well, I'm gonna call this cam E because there's a sequence missing in between. Let's play blast this. No. Play blast settings. It's only going to be used for that little sequence, little section, I mean. But the reason why I'm play blasting the whole thing is that way they all line up exactly the same in the timeline. So we can cancel that past that point and open up Premiere. Thanks, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby wants to see wants to see the poor little bastard get tortured.
More like poor little guy.
Yeah, poor little guy. Okay, so let's bring in that shot. So you can see it lines up perfectly. So now I know that if I come over here, goes up and these are too similar. So they don't work. This one works here. And that's why I named it Cam D. You can see this is Cam A, B, C. There's a D missing. So this one does not work. That this side angle works. So I need to get that in there and then boom. Probably do is create another camera there. So you can see I'm missing that. So let's just take a look here. Running. Boom. Missing a shot there. Grab him and then throw him. So I could just like extend this for now just to see what the hell that does.
Weird cut.
These are too similar, so I feel like jump cuts. you know, the landing, like getting smashed to the ground, I'd be interested in seeing, like, can I get, let's see. Okay, this is when he goes flying. So, okay, so it picks him up, and then he gets thrown here. You know, my only worry with this sequence, I'll tell you, Tran, is that you're gonna feel so bad for this little guy that then him becoming an antagonist, even though it's not technically him, but you're just gonna feel like really bad.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna feel bad, but then later in the story, you won't when they sneak into his room. So,
No, but yeah.
yeah, you're gonna feel. I don't know. Is that bad though? I mean, I guess I can kind of see that. Like, I mean, but what's the choice? Like softening it?
No, there's no softening. I'm just saying keeping the POV more distant.
I see.
I think it's by you being there and watching this.
Instead of being too, yeah, if you're too much, it's like we were saying earlier, like you don't want to see it from Zort's POV. Like you have to feel like this is what Ka is witnessing.
Then again, you realize how absolutely brutal these moths are, and why they're such a danger, right? Which is
Yeah.
also good.
Well, yeah. He, when you first meet him, he's a little arrogant, and it's kind of his arrogance that gets him here. It's not kind of, it's totally his arrogance that gets him in this situation. But maybe that's the stuff that makes it interesting. But anyway, I think we should cut it. We're past time.
One more second. I just want to put this in the edit. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's it for today. Because I just remember I have to. You know what? Let me just put this. So this would be camera. Camera F. Okay, let's see. So let's bring that here. And again, the only reason why I have to close it and open it is because the Play Blast doesn't work with this on. So it's a little slower. Thanks, Ted. All right, let's see what we have. So let's bring in that new camera. So drop it right here. So let's see. So he goes flying, 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 flying. Maybe right there. So it's still missing that in between shot, which is going to be really weird. But let's just see. So boom, pulls him.
Play it again one more time. I think it cuts together pretty well. I like this shot.
These don't.
I like that cut. Just throw some in there. It's much more brutal like this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That I actually feel bad for the little guy.
Well, yeah.
Feels like it's playing like at a faster speed.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, okay. Okay, so that's it for now. But let me just play it one more time. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll continue next week. Cool thing is we're making a movie now, so a lot of shop building. So anyway, thanks to Dell, thanks to Gnomon, of course, and NVIDIA. Yeah, thanks to everybody that's animating on this project. They're doing kick-ass work, and we appreciate all of you guys for logging in every week.
And it's always nice to see you guys.
Yeah,
Well, see your names.
yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we'll be back next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.